Today, I'm going to talk to you about why you should not switch to Linux. Yes, you heard that right. I'm a huge fan of Linux. I run Linux as my daily driver. I love the freedom, customization, lack of forced updates, transparency, and the community driven development, all of it. But here's the thing, Linux isn't for everyone, and honestly, that's okay. Choice matters more than team loyalty. So let's talk about why some people should not switch to Linux, at least not right now, and why that doesn't go against what Linux stands for. Before anything else, let's get something straight. Linux is about freedom. Freedom from lock-in, freedom from subscriptions, and freedom from hidden processes and forced updates. But most importantly, freedom to choose what works best for you. If Windows works for you, great. If Mac OS works for you, perfect. If Linux works for you, awesome. The moment a Linux user starts demanding that everyone switch, we lose sight of what Linux is even about. Let's be honest, some apps just don't work on Linux. Yes, we have alternatives, Wine, Proton, but if you absolutely rely on things like Photoshop, AutoCAD, other specialized industry tools, certain music production suites, or even enterprise only apps, then Linux might not be the right choice today. You shouldn't have to completely rebuild your workflow just to fit into an OS. Linux has come a long, long way, but let's be real. Some hardware support is still rough. If you have a brand new GPU, certain Wi-Fi or Bluetooth chips, proprietary printers, gaming peripherals with closed software, you might find yourself wrestling with your drivers. Linux isn't broken, it's just that some companies refuse to provide drivers, and that's on them. Linux is amazing for tinkerers, people who love control, for people who enjoy customizing. But if your attitude is just work, don't ask questions, then Windows or Mac OS probably fits that expectation better. Not because Linux can't be easy, it very much can, but because the entire philosophy of Linux is different. Linux gives you control first and convenience second. Users coming from big tech OS systems expect the opposite. Gaming on Linux is the best it's ever been, thanks to things like Proton, Steam Deck, Vulkan, and huge community efforts, but it's not perfect. If you play things like competitive shooters with anti-cheat, especially at a kernel level, new AAA games on day one, or even some VR titles, you may run into issues. Most games run, but not all of them. This isn't an insult, it's reality. Switching operating systems always mean learning new habits, new settings, new keyboard shortcuts, new ways of installing software. If you're not in a place where you feel like learning something new, then switching probably isn't going to bring you joy. And again, it's important to realize that that is okay. Some operating systems just take a little bit longer to get used to than others. Heck, I don't even know how to install something on Mac. If I pull that up, I'm gonna struggle. So you really just have to put in the time and effort to learn something and want to learn it for the sake of you. So if I just listed all the reasons not to switch, why am I using Linux? Well, that's because Linux gives me freedom from subscriptions, no forced ads or unwanted AI integrations, no data mining, and full control of my system. I have the ability to self-host and build my own tools, and a community that creates because they love creating. Linux isn't about being better than other OSs, Linux is about being yours. So here's the fun part. If Linux isn't perfect, how do we make it better? And that's kind of simple. If the user base grows, there's more visibility, and with more visibility becomes more demand. Right now, desktop OS market share looks like this. Windows has 72%, Mac OS 15%, and Linux just a mere 4%, but that's growing fast thanks to things like Steam Deck. Imagine if Linux even hit 10%. Imagine if 1 in 10 people used Linux. Suddenly companies would build native apps, provide proper drivers, release official support, and even create open source alternatives faster. We'd see more Adobe level apps, more DaVinci Resolve type companies supporting Linux, and more AAA games with native Vulkan support. The more people who can switch, the better it becomes for the people who want to switch. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit like and subscribe, it really will help. And let me know in the comments what you use and why. And I'll see you next time.